What people turn to when money fails. What if tomorrow morning you woke up and discovered your money had stopped working? Not stolen, not frozen, not banned, just worthless, as if someone pulled a plug on your entire financial life. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the part we don't talk about. Money has failed before, repeatedly, across continents, across centuries. In rich empires, poor villages, powerful nations, and financial superpowers. And each time, people didn't turn to politicians, or central banks, or even gold bars. They turned to something far stranger, something you and I still rely on, even though we rarely notice it. Today we're going to uncover what humans fall back on when money fails, and why the answer hasn't changed for 5,000 years. To understand what people turn to when money breaks, you first need to understand something uncomfortable. Money is not wealth. It's a story one held together by trust. That trust can fade slowly or collapse overnight. History gives us warnings. The Roman Empire minting coins that turned to tin. Post-war Germany printing cash so worthless people burned it for heat. Zimbabwe's trillion-dollar notes fluttering like confetti. Argentina rewriting its currency system again and again. And again. But these are just the obvious examples. The real lessons lie in how people survived. Because every time money died, something else rose to replace its hand. It wasn't always gold or barter. There is a pattern, a hidden sequence. A fallback system, older than cash itself. And to see it clearly, we need to follow the timeline. How money first failed. The first documented currency failure didn't happen in a modern country. It happened in ancient Mesopotamia, around 4,000 years ago. Back then, silver was the unit of account. But here's the twist. Most transactions weren't paid with silver at all. People used grain, livestock, labor credits, or obligations recorded on clay tablets. When silver ran short, lost trust people didn't panic. They simply shifted back to these older systems. In other words, the earliest economies survived because money wasn't the foundation relationships were. This early example reveals a crucial clue. Before money, humans built networks of trust, not piles of currency. And these networks never fully disappeared. The rise when the system gets too big. As civilizations grew, something predictable happened. Governments created currencies to simplify trade. China's early paper notes, Rome's silver denarii, medieval Europe's gold florins. These currencies worked until governments got greedy. Rome shaved silver out of coins. China printed too much paper money. European monarchs clipped coins and debased metals. Each time the money system grew larger than the real economy, a dangerous gap opened between what people believed money was worth and what it was actually backed by. And when belief and reality collide, belief always loses. Still, the question remains. When money weakens, what do people turn to? The answer begins to reveal itself here. They turn to the most stable value in their world, whatever that happens to be. Not what governments choose, not what economists preach, but what people trust. The breaking point when currency dies. Let's jump to a moment when money didn't just weaken, it evaporated. Weimar, Germany, 1923. The printing presses screamed day and night. Workers were paid twice a day. Children made kites out of banknotes. Families rushed to the store before prices doubled by evening. People didn't switch to gold. They didn't switch to barter either. Instead, they turned to foreign currencies, food and favors. Factories accepted coal as payment. Farmers traded potatoes for clothing. Businesses used US dollars for stability. Families relied on relatives in rural towns for food and shelter. Money died, but networks survived. Trust survived. And value migrated to whatever could hold trust. That pattern repeats across time. Zimbabwe, 2008. People used US dollars, South African rand, and mobile time credits as currency. Argentina, multiple collapses. Businesses preferred US dollars and barter networks exploded. Yugoslavia, 1990s. Hyperinflation turned salaries to dust. People hoarded German marks. Venezuela, Arting S. The Bolivar collapsed. People used dollars, crypto, and food packs as currency. Each collapse looked unique, but each response looked the same. The fallout, when money becomes useless. When money fails, societies enter a strange phase. Prices stop communicating value. Budgets stop working. Saving becomes pointless. Long-term planning simply dies. But something else rises, something older than economics textbooks. 1. Communities replace banks. People trade inside trusted circles. Families pool resources. Neighbors share skills. 2. Tangible goods replace numbers. Food, fuel, medicine, foreign cash, tools, livestock. These become the real currency. 3. Reputation becomes wealth. The reliable mechanic, the farmer with surplus, the trader who can source goods. These people become more valuable than millionaires holding the wrong currency. Money collapses. But value reorganizes. Failed fixes, why governments can't stop the slide? When money breaks, governments always try 3 things. Fix number 1, print more money. This creates temporary relief and deeper collapse. Price controls, this turns markets underground. Fix number 3, currency redesigns, new notes, new names, new laws. But trust doesn't come from ink or paper. This is why collapsing systems don't stabilize until people, not governments, restore trust. And that brings us to today. Modern parallels. The pattern is back. History isn't repeating, it's rhyming loudly. Today, global trust in money is quietly eroding again. Over 2 billion people live with double-digit inflation. 60% of nations have depreciating currencies. The US dollar, once king, faces rising debt and declining purchasing power. 40% of Americans say they trust the financial system less than ever. Gold demand is at record highs. Crypto adoption surges in countries with failing currencies. Barter-style apps are exploding worldwide. Money isn't failing everywhere, but trust is weakening globally. And when trust weakens, people always shift value to one of 3 things. 1. Hard assets, gold, land, tools, food reserves. 2. Alternative currencies, foreign cash, digital currencies, mobile credits. 3. Human networks, communities, reputations, mutual aid circles, skill exchanges. These aren't guesses, they're ancient patterns. And those patterns echo the same message. When money fails, people go back to the only system that truly works: trust. Trust in things. Trust in people. Trust in networks. Money is temporary. Trust is the real infrastructure. Conclusion: 3 takeaways. So what do people turn to when money fails? Takeaway number 1. Value always moves to what people trust most. Not always gold, not always dollars, just whatever holds trust in the moment. Takeaway number 2. Tangible goods always outrank paper promises. Food, tools, fuel, medicine, these become the bedrock of collapsed economies. Takeaway number 3. Human networks become the new financial system. Skills, favors, reputation, and relationships become the true currency. Final warning or open-ended thought: money isn't the foundation of civilization. Trust is. Every financial system, no matter how advanced, depends on a story people believe. Lose the story, and the money goes with it. The real question isn't what happens if money fails. It's who will you trust, and what will you hold if the story ever breaks again? If you want more videos that reveal the hidden patterns behind global finance, economic history, and the future of money, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment, and share this with someone who still thinks money never fails.